Hurricanes in white, Virginia in all blue. Our officials tonight, Ted Valentine, Bill Covington, and Tony Henderson. Oh! Getting a little antsy before tip. Norchad Omier, he's ready to rock, so are we. Top 25 matchup, and now we are underway. It's Virginia that starts with the basketball. The Cavaliers trying to bounce back after that 69-61 loss to Houston over the weekend.
There it is. They're looking to go right in at that matchup. Jaden Gardner does a great job of getting to the middle of the floor and attacking.
Master of the mid-range opens the scoring.
I look for Virginia to play through him on the second side, maybe not the first side, but the second side, and go right at Miller. Be interesting to see as this game goes along what type of matchups and changes Jim Larrañaga makes.
Take a look at Miami's starting five. They've won 7 straight, up to number 22 in the polls now. They're ranked for the first time since 2018. This is a big, tough test for them here at home. Perfect position for the tap-in. It's Jordan Miller.
And that's the advantage Miami. Miami, an outstanding offensive rebounding team. Miller using his quickness to get to the glass.
Miller and Omier going to be a handful for the Cavaliers on the glass. Transition 3, Miller wide open, and he makes Virginia pay.
And you see right there the versatility of Miller. Confident enough to shoot the 3, has the athleticism and the quickness to get to the glass. He could also drive it off the elbow. He is a difficult matchup for Gardner.
Right back to Gardner. Franklin, he's been cold the last few games, and that continues with a missed triple.
Good job of digging down a little bit right there on Gardner, forcing him to give the ball up.
Here's Isaiah Wong, always aggressive. Poplar a 3, and it goes! Miami red hot. They've already buried 2 threes in the opening 2 minutes.
When we came in here today to watch Virginia practice, who was working out on his own, getting shots up? Poplar, getting himself ready for tonight's game.
And he's doing it on defense, too. Stolen away. Poplar all the way to the rim, but he missed it. Franklin in attack mode, denied. Norchad Omier all over him. Very unlike Virginia to push it like that.
They're running a little bit more up long rebounds, quick outlets. I'd like to see Franklin come to a stop, show the ball, maybe crack some and try to get the line. Chadwick, a really good defender, using his size, his length. A really good feet for a young guy.
Nigel Pack, nothing but the bottom of the net, fading away. And Tony Bennett wants a timeout. Miami shot out of a cannon to start this game. They're up on number 6 Virginia, 10-2 in the opening 3 minutes. It's a 10-0 run, Seth.
And that's what makes Jordan Miller difficult. At the 4, he can run the floor, doesn't run to the block, spots up, knocks down the 3, and then you get a little bit of a paint touch. And right there, Woogan steps behind and Poplar knocks down that big 3. He did his work this morning. It paid dividends on this stage.
It's something that you said to look for, Seth Greenberg, is that Virginia does not turn the ball over, and already Wooga Poplar has turned the Cavaliers over. Virginia in an 8-point hole in the opening 3 minutes.
Yeah, Virginia turns it over about 8 times a game. This is a Miami team that forces a turnover 14 times a game, doing a really good job of running out of that.
Here's McNeely off the bench, blocked. Miami's defense comes up big again.
Miami's been really active defensively. Good job of tracing the ball, contesting shots, being active off the ball defensively. Look for Kihei Clark to try to make something happen.
Right on cue. Here's Clark. In attack mode, the floater doesn't fall.
Clark does a great job of changing speeds, getting in the lane, has all different ways to finish. Little guards need to have a lot of different ways to finish around the rim.
Omier tries a three, too much on it. Another thing to watch out for Virginia is the health of Reese Beekman. Last 3 games, he has not been 100%. Tony Bennett was hoping he'd be very close to 100% tonight. They go to Beekman, and he fails to deliver there.
Omier is really terrific defender. 7-foot wingspan, has great feet, has the ability to recover and contest shots at the rim.
Isaiah Wong, so crafty, and it's a 12-0 Miami run.
Yeah, Isaiah Wong, he's averaged only 6 points a game in the last 4 games against Miami, and getting him off to a good start. But he's more than just a scorer. He is a playmaker as well.
Kihei Clark drills the three. It ends a 4-minute Virginia scoring drought.
Jay, when Virginia gets stuck, look for Kihei Clark to make plays, whether it's coming off ball screens, coming off screens, off the ball, getting downhill. He's a guy that, in that moment, usually seizes the opportunity to make a play.
Last couple of possessions, Miami settled for threes that have gone begging. McNeely over to Clark. 10 seconds on the timer for Kihei Clark. Vander Plas. Don't let him get hot. Vander Plas drills the three. And just like that, Virginia back within 4.
Yeah, Vander Plas, the Ohio University transfer. His dad played with Tony Bennett in college at Wisconsin Green Bay. Really skilled, terrific passer. Has not shot it well this season, but is capable three-point shooting.
Offensive foul. Jordan Miller called for a push-off. We're just getting started over on South Beach. Top 25 matchup in the ACC. This team's not just to the ACC, but the country.
Yeah, Mike Bray's old line was get old and stay old. These two teams are old. You're looking at a Virginia team. Their average age is 3.57. I mean, these are experienced players. So what do experienced players mean to a basketball team? Perfect. Virginia, you get off to a slow start. You can weather the storm. You've been in this situation before. You know how to prepare for a game. You understand how to digest a scouting report. You understand how to travel. You have guys that basically have a toughness about them and a shared experience, even with the transfer portal. So these are two experienced teams. You're going to be able to make adjustments throughout the game, and you're going to watch these teams throughout the game. There are going to be some runs, but they're old enough and mature enough to settle in back into the game and make those adjustments.
Cade and Shedrick misses the layup there. You mentioned the portal, the one-and-done culture. I get wanting to get old. It's so hard, Zach.
It's hard to stay old is what it is. You can get old now in the transfer portal, but getting veteran players is so difficult. You can get them, but to keep them is difficult. Virginia and Miami both have done a great job of keeping their players and developing their players. And that's a big part. Like, you know, everyone counts pros. Well, both of these guys have developed pros, but you know what? The guys that come into Miami, the guys that come into Virginia, they understand the process, and they're willing to pay the price and work to get to that point.
One of those guys is Isaiah Wong, fourth-year junior for Jim Larinaga. Look at the last 3 games, 27 points per game, 24 assists, 4 turnovers.
Yeah, and he's shooting 36% from the three-point line. Last year, he averaged 2 assists a game. He's averaging over 4 assists a game right now. Yeah, he went through that process with the NBA. The NBA people said, you got to prove that you can shoot the 3. What did he do this summer and all season long? He comes in here at 6:30 in the morning with Coach Bill Courtney and gets up jumpers, working on his game, working on his footwork, working on with the ball, without the ball. So that's a perfect example of taking advantage, taking the information and working to make yourself better.
He's put that time in the morning, and it's starting to translate in the best form of his career. Rejected at the rim. Rolls out to Nigel Pack.
What a block by Norchad Omier right at the front of the rim. That's a 7-foot wingspan, an active, alert defender, a guy that can cover ground and contest without fouling.
Wong through the spin cycle, keeps it alive for Miami.
Anthony Miller in the game right now for Miami. He had a terrific practice yesterday.
High off the window, no good, and it falls to Franklin. It's a very deep Miami team. Jim Larrañaga, a lot of weapons at his disposal.
Jim Larrañaga will go deep into his bench, and I really believe great play by Vander Plas right there. Vander Plas much more aggressive in this game. I really love Bensley Joseph and Harlan Beverly. Those two guys, when they come off the bench, they're almost like starters. And I think that's really important. Bensley Joseph is an elite defender, plays really hard. And Harlan Beverly was hurt last year, had a bad back. He's come back. He's really done a nice job. So the depth on the perimeter of this Miami team is legit.
Here's Joseph. Off to Walker. 3 seconds to shoot. Gardner's all over him. Hoists. Can't connect, but an offensive rebound by Omier keeps the possession alive.
Averages 4 offensive rebounds a game. You've got to go and find him and cut him out.
Still with it, then draws the foul. That's just a great individual effort by Norchad Omier. He'll be at the foul line when we come back. Miami, Virginia, trading punches in a top 25 ACC battle.
Rebound, and some guys, the ball finds him. He goes and finds the basketball. It's like a pass off the backboard. He gets after every single missed shot, and his ability to catch, attack, and get to the line off those offensive rebounds are huge for this Miami team.
What a great story Norchad Omier is for this Miami team. Transferred in from Arkansas State. He is the first person from the country Nicaragua to attend a Division I school on a basketball scholarship. He was just recognized by his home country, by the Olympic Committee there, or his parents accepting the award. Got to speak with him a little bit at shoot around. He is just so proud of that. Enjoying his time in Miami with these guys as well. But to be the first person to do something from your home country, just remarkable.
It is remarkable. He spent the year at Miami Prep. Art Alvarez, who's built a great prep school program at Miami Prep. He went to Arkansas State last year, averaged 17 points, I think 12 rebounds. But what he just plays each and every play like it's the last play of the game. He's relentless on the glass. He's an active and alert defender off the ball, and he plays with a joy and an enthusiasm and a maturity that really helps this Miami team.
He's listed as 6'7", but he plays 7'7".
Yeah, he does play 7'7". He's got a 7-foot wingspan, but look at his feet, though. His great feet.
Right on cue, blocks Vander Plas, and it's Miami basketball. He is dialed in on the defensive end right now.
His ability to get out on the floor and defend, move his feet, watch us stay down, stay down, stay down, wall up, vertical, terrific job. Impacts the game on the glass, impacts the game with his feet and his activity defensively. Does a great job of defending ball screen situations. This is where I like Wong on the second side. And that's where his game is developed.
Right on the money. Bensley Joseph lines it up and knocks it down from the corner.
Bensley Joseph is coming off the bench. When you have Joseph and you have Harlan Beverly, those two guys are really good. But Isaiah Wong, where his game has improved is we know he can score. His game as a facilitator. He sees plays early. Right there, simple handoff. He's got legitimate size. He can defend. He's a willing passer and a creative passer. He can get in the lane and score it through the defense and can shoot the three now.
Almost midway through this first half, we were saying at the beginning of the game, it's a contrasted styles between Jim Larrañaga and Tony Bennett. Miami's playing at a tempo that they prefer, and that's tough to do against this Virginia team.
Miami's got stops. They've created some turnovers on that stops. They're doing a good job of running. And when I talk about running, you attack to flatten the defense, but you also have to run in lanes. And they've done a good job of advanced passing, attacking, and like this possession before, really good baseline drive, kick, open three. Good execution there.
Great pass. Kihei Clark right on the money. Francisco Cafaro, and that's a name change this year for the Argentinian.
It's Cafaro, and I'll tell you, is he proud about the Argentina World Cup? He carries his flag with him.
Yeah. During shoot-around, he was having it draped on the chair next to him. Huge week for Argentinians around the world. Waited 36 years to hoist that World Cup. This time from a different corner. Same result. Nothing but the bottom of the net from Bensley Joseph.
Bensley Joseph and Harlan Beverly are connected at the hip. They're like the second unit, all right? And they come in with either a curveball or a fastball, but There's no drop-off when those two guys come in the game. And Joseph is an elite defender. Watch that matchup with Clark. Clark will have a hard time getting in the lane against Joseph. There's the quickness right there of Jordan Miller.
Gardner trying to grind through it. It falls to Wong. Miami leading by 10. Step back three. It's good! Count it! Plus the foul! Isaiah Wong. It could be a 4-point play.
Isaiah Wong, you're seeing it. This dude has got a complete game. Boom. Little behind the back, step back, knock down the three. Possession before he drove baseline, made the dime, but right here. Little rhythm dribble, little pullback, knocks down that three. Last year, a 30% three-point shooter. Shooting 36 from the three. Every aspect of his game has improved. Why do you come back? You come back to obviously have a shared experience with your teammates. You also come back to develop your game. Isaiah Wong, he put in the work in the summer. You see the development paying dividends.
He's been waking up each morning at 6:30. I might start doing that if those are the results.
Your game is not fixable.
9 minutes left of this first half. Miami on a 12-2 run.
So where does Virginia go to score?
Franklin underneath, misses the layup. It'll stay with Virginia. Fresh shot clock because it hit the rim as well.
Virginia's got to find a way to get Jaden Gardner the ball. When you think about the first possession, they go right into the block on him, and he attacks and scores. They've got to find a way to get him back involved, and Vander Plas is coming in for him.
What about Isaac McNeely, the freshman who certainly has provided a spark for this team at times? He's been quiet, just one shot and it was blocked. Beekman into the lane, can't get it to go. Caffaro draws the foul.
And that's what Caffaro does. He's a big physical dude. I am so impressed with Bensley Joseph. I mean, here he sits down in the stands, he keeps in front, he contests shots. When those two guys come in the game, Bensley Joseph and Harlan Beverly come in the game, they're big, they're physical, they're experienced, they defend, and they play with great confidence.
Tomorrow night, it's another college basketball doubleheader right here on the ACC Network. Conference play in full swing. It starts with Virginia Tech and Boston College. Then at 8:30, Notre Dame against Florida State.
The Virginia Tech playing at a high level. Really an elite offensive team. Grant Basile has the ability to take bigs away from the basket. Sean Padula is playing with so much confidence. Hunter Couture is a guard that defends and knocks down shots. They share the ball, but what people don't talk about enough about Virginia Tech is how physical they are defensively. They've got versatility in what they do defensively, and they've got a physicality to them.
Another ranked ACC team. We've got two of them sparring in South Beach right now. Miami has thrown the first punch, leading by 12.
This is what makes Miller so difficult to defend, his skill set. Never takes a bad shot.
Beverly pops out for three and misses it.
Where does Virginia go to get a bucket? That's the big question. Can Beekman turn the corner and make a play? Can McNeely knock down a jumper? Miami's doing such a great job of not overhelping, keeping Virginia on the perimeter, pressuring the basketball, and taking them out of rhythms, even in their size.
McNeely, the blow-by, and the finish. But did Caffaro storm in and get a piece of it?
That's goaltending. That ball was on the rim. That basket will not count.
That ball, I believe, was going to go down anyway, but Caffaro touched it, so by the letter of the law, it has to be a goaltending.
It's a goaltending. They got to call goaltending. They can review that play because they called the goaltending. But that ball was definitely on the rim. That will be no basket. Good job of McNeely, though, getting in the lane and attacking.
We've got to step aside. We'll get you the official call when we come back.
Review that play is because they called the goaltending originally. So if they called the goaltending originally, they can go to the monitor, review the play. Obviously, they had the foul, but the basket was waved off due to the offensive goaltending. And that's really good officiating. This is a really good officiating crew and a really good job of getting right to it, using the monitor, and taking advantage of the situation. Really
unique lineup out there for Tony Bennett right now with Tane Murray, Isaac McNeely, Vander Plas, and then Francisco Caffaro to join Reese Beekman.
Yeah, the reason he's going with his lineup because he didn't really appreciate the effort he was getting out of his other line. He wasn't getting leadership from P.A. Clark. He wasn't getting leadership from Reese Beekman that he expects. And they weren't getting any stops. Right now, Miami's in a flow offensively and then defensively. This team will really have a hard time getting in the paint and scoring. With this lineup here, Reese Beekman's got to make a play. So he's coming off the ball screen, which is giving a hard hedge. But he's got to find a way to get in the lane.
Murray lost the handle. Pack's there to corral it. Goes right to the rack, misses it.
Really, really active, alert defense, fighting through those screens, getting hands on the ball, getting deflections. That's shot creation. That's exactly what I was talking about. That's exactly what Reese Beekman's got to do. Someone's got to create an easy shot for someone. This is almost a hangover from the Houston game in terms of what Houston did. He did a really nice job of keeping Virginia out on the perimeter. That's a bad shot right there. And that's the adjustment that, quite honestly, Nigel Pack's got to make. He was a volume shooter at Kansas State, world-class shooter. You know, here at Miami, great curl right there. Attack the basket, attack the basket. Good curl, good finish right there by Murray.
So you mentioned Pack. He came in with big expectations, a big NIL dollar attached to his name. He's fallen into a slump the last 4 games. He sat out with illness in the last one. If they can get him going, Miami shoots to another stratosphere.
Well, here's the thing. It's not getting him going. He's their 4th best player right now. All right? Norchad Omier is their 3rd best player. Isaiah Wong is the best player, obviously. Here he's trying to turn the corner and make the play. And Jordan Miller's their 2nd best player. So he's got a different role on this team. So he's got to pick his spots. And he's moving from the 2 guard to the point guard position. Right? So he's more of a facilitator, and he's just trying to get acclimated to what Coach Larranaga wants. So it takes time to get to understand a new role with a new team.
Something Vander Plas is going through too, making that transition from Ohio to Virginia. Here's Wong, hung in the air. How did he get that to go? Isaiah Wong.
That's a bad dude right there. Let me tell you, he comes off the ball screen. They're in drop coverage. He snakes it back, uses his body, so he's knocked down the 3. He's created an open 3. He's gotten a lane and finished at the rim. Dribble handoff to get scoring opportunities, and he is absolutely guarded. See the versatility of the Miami defense switching that screen right there? Isaiah Wong impacts the game on both sides of the floor. But watch it. Snake, drop coverage, attack the big, put your shoulder into his chest, and finish. That is just a big-time finish. Go right into his chest. Cafo's thinking block shot. He's thinking nose job.
Wong is a perfect example of if you stay in college, you develop. You get better each and every year. He is playing his best basketball here at his 4th season.
He's running his own race. There's too many guys that have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Players need to run their own race. It does great pocket pass right there.
Yeah, beautiful pass. Jaden Gardner the finish. Virginia needs to get Gardner going.
They need to get Gardner going. They need to play through him a little bit. That was a really good curl. That was old school Virginia. Fewer ball screens. Beastman curls right off of that down screen. They have to show on the screen. Great pocket pass. I would suspect that Tony's going to try to get Gardner touches and put him in a lot of 2-man screening games with Reese Beekman.
A sustained run with Kihei Clark, Caden Shedrick, and Jaden Gardner on the bench. Now they're back in for the final 4 minutes and 36 seconds here, trying to close the gap.
Yeah, I'm Tony Bennett right now. We got a 10-point game, all right? Well, we've got to do the next 4 minutes. We've got to win the next 4 minutes. We don't have to win it by 10 points. We've got to win the next 4 minutes by 2 points, 4 points. Now it's a 6-point game with 20 minutes to go. We're fine. How do you do it? Get stops, solid possessions on the other end, play through Gardner, all right? Take care of the basketball.
Wong in attack mode, swatted by Shedrick. There to clean up the spill, Norchad Omier.
The ball finds good offensive rebounding, but he pursues every shot like it's a pass off the backboard. They're right in their pairs where they're basically playing two-man games on either side. I got to believe they're going to try to get Gardner the ball somehow, some way. Here's Beekman coming off with the curl again. This time he curls it tight to score.
Virginia looking a lot better offensively. They've knocked down their last 2 shots.
And the last 2 shots, it was Beekman coming off Gardner. The first time he comes off the screen, the defender shows he drops the pocket pass. This time defender stays home. He has an opportunity to score.
Omier on the move. Offensive foul. Jaden Gardner putting his body on the line. Virginia trailing by 10. Number 6 team in the country in trouble on the road.
He was the maestro. Terry Holland, to me, probably one of the most influential people in my life. He was my mentor. He chose me, thank goodness. And I can honestly say I never made a major decision in my adult life without consulting him, including asking my wife to marry me. So Coach Holland, he is, to me, one of the great men in the history of college basketball. That 84 team had a player in Kent Needland who's really been ill. And I don't know, his daughter's at Stanford, his son's high school in Northern Virginia. He was an amazing teammate, and he made the steal against Dan Dockich that got us a chance and to beat Indiana to go to a Final Four.
Wow.
And Kenton, we're thinking about you. Stay strong. Amazing family, an amazing teammate, a terrific player. And what a great experience I had in '84. I was a very, very small part of that. But Coach Holland, his impact on me will last with me forever.
What's the biggest change you've seen from Jim Larrañaga, from an assistant coach at Virginia on that staff to now leading his own program, one of the best ever been?
Jim Larrañaga is, some coaches are enablers, some are empowerers. Jim Larrañaga empowers his team. He lifts his team up. He encourages his team. He gets them to believe and expect to win. Technically, Jim Larrañaga does an amazing job of putting players in position to play their strengths offensively and defensively, and setting a system that fits his personnel. They're small, so they're going to attack and be aggressive defensively. They're going to have skilled players. They're going to attack different matchups. But his ability to uplift his team and get them to embrace the best version of themselves is his greatest gift.
Omier off the mark. Virginia's buttoned up the defense in the last few minutes. They've cut the lead to 8. Beekman going right back to Chedrick. A ton of contact. No call. Miami a 5-on-4. Chedrick getting back. Does just in the nick of time. And Virginia forces a turnover.
Virginia's settled in defense a little bit, a lot more alert right now, doing a better job in defensive transition, doing a better job of containing the basketball. They've had 2 pretty solid offensive possessions. 2-man game again with who? Reese Beekman, Jaden Gardner. This time on the ball screen, he slips it out, knocks down that little 15-footer.
And just like that, it's a 2-possession game.
Great
Virginia has
Absolutely.
battled back.
Yeah, great answer by Virginia. Getting stops, solid offensive possessions with Beekman and Gardner.
Seth Greenberg, Jay Alter with you. You never know who you'll run into. We were walking the halls here in Miami. There's the
I was a wide
Hurricanes
receiver.
head coach.
I don't understand. I mean, you know, he had one scholarship available. He said, you were my agent. You were pitching me a little bit. But, I mean, Coach, he was so relaxed. You know what?
I couldn't believe it.
If I was had a recruiting classes as good as he had, I'd be relaxed too.
They think it's going to finish anywhere from top 3 to top 5. This is his first full recruiting class in Miami. I don't know how you're so calm. He was calm, cool, collected.
Well, I'll tell you, he's focused as could be. I mean, he says, this is what Miami's supposed to do. This is who we are. Again, Jaden Gardner, good drive. Got to finish that one.
Yeah, tough take. A little more than a minute left to this first half. Explosion from Wong. He gets right to the hoop.
What has a long gun? Pushes it in transition, knocked down 3, created shots for others, played off the ball screen. Big last minute right now for this Virginia team that's fought its way back in the game. They really like Gardner on that right-hand side of the floor. Wong digging it down.
Deep 3. McNeely can't connect.
Changing the defense already. Jim Larrañaga on those isolations, digging down and digging the ball out, scraping the ball out.
That's a great bucket. The freshman A.J. Casey finds Omier, and it's a 10-point Miami lead with under 30 seconds left. And this first half as the crowd comes to life.
Great answer by this Miami team, being physical, getting stops. It's a big possession for Virginia to stay forth the way back, cut it to a 4-point game. They can get it under the double digits. Watch for the pick and pop with Vander Plas.
5 seconds. Kihei Clark.
Got him.
Deep three from the logo. Off the mark. A first half that Miami has dominated, a 10-point lead.
And weathered the run by Virginia by answering that run with Wong playing downhill. Really well played first half by the Canes. In transition, Zay Wong did everything you want from an experienced player that came back. Right? He made plays for his teammates, he made plays for himself, and this is against a team that he was only averaging 6 points a game against.
Yeah, we mentioned Miami has lost 6 straight meetings against Virginia. In the last 4 meetings, Wong only averaging 6.5 points per game. Like you said, Seth, he's already doubled that in one half, playing with a lot of confidence. How do the Hurricanes maintain this, close out with a win?
Continue to defend with a purpose, continue to get good shots, and that's a push-off right there. It is hard to keep Norchad Omier off the glass. You know, the most important thing is set your defense. What do you have to do? You got to take care of the basketball. You got to take good shots, and that's really, really important. Continue to attack the offensive glass, and then force Virginia to be a jump shooting team.
The only thing that Miami sometimes falls into, Seth, is they do fall in love with that deep three.
They did in the first half and kind of gave Virginia a chance to get back into the start of the first half, and then they continued to play downhill and in transition. But Virginia's an experienced team. They chipped away, got it down to, I think, 4. They'll find a way to get back in this game. But I think they've got to play through Gardner more, and I really like when Gardner and Reese Beekman are in that 2-man game on the right-hand side of the floor.
Wong got Beekman. Goes inside. Beautiful feed. Norchad Omier does the rest.
Norchad Omier with that 7-foot wingspan goes and attacks the ball on the catch and finish.
At the beginning of the game, Seth Greenberg said, watch the battle on the glass. Miami out-rebounding Virginia by 6 in that first half. And now a turnover.
That was a terrific defensive play by Norchad Omier. Staying down, using his body, walling up, eliminating any opportunity for Shedrick to get, turn, and face. And the physicality of this game is really, really impacting Virginia.
You mentioned in the first half, could this be a little bit of a Houston hangover still plaguing this team?
I don't think it's a Houston hangover. I think Miami's a very good basketball team, a physical team defensively, and they can create problems. So, you know, this is a road game, and against a team that has terrific guard plays and have done a really good job of attacking certain matchups.
Luga Poplar
Don't worry, I
almost
had your
taking
back.
out Seth. You were ready to take the charge.
I had your back. There was no doubt about it. I know you were like, I said I stepped up.
That's good that you're sitting there, because if that were me, I'd be 3 rows deep letting you take it.
I haven't taken a charge in 40 years.
T.J. Clark rejected again. Norchad Omier, that's now a career high 4 blocks for the big fella.
But look how active he is right there. The curl, he sits back, he's patient, attacks the basketball. That's got to be a dump off right there. If you saw the play, Jayden Gardner on the right-hand side was wide open.
Everything but the finish. Armand Franklin's in a funk.
He is
Virginia
really
gets it back,
struggling.
though.
They didn't reset the clock.
That's how you know, as a coach, you know a player's not confident, not in rhythm when you miss a shot like that.
Yeah, he can make that shot 9 out of 10 times. He doesn't finish. He's got to get to the next play. He can't have a hangover for that missed shot. Like, the guy's a good player. He's had good games. He's an experienced player. He's got to get to the next play and play. And he's playing against a guy right there because they're switching with really good length. That's
illegal screen.
Caffaro, who changed his pronunciation of his name if you didn't know.
Virginia Sports Information Director Eric Bacher making it clear before the game. I know it's been Caffaro for 3 seasons, but now it's Caffaro. And with his native country of Argentina winning the World Cup, a lot of Argentinian pride, we got to get the name right.
And his dad wanted it pronounced correctly, which is a great thing.
Wong, contested 3, doesn't matter. Isaiah Wong is on fire.
That's an example of good, better, best. Give up a good shot to get a better shot to get the best shot. Skip pass, make one more. Wong steps into the 3.
Gardner trying to answer, draws the foul.
This
Wong
is just
with
really
15
good
points.
basketball right here. Ball gets reversed, come off that high ball screen. They tag the roll, skip it, make one extra, knock that 3 down. That's just really good basketball. Terrific spacing by Miami.
That's the one part of Isaiah Wong's game that has just taken off in this 4th season. The deep ball.
Yeah, 36% from the 3. And, stepping threes are good threes, but Virginia did what you have to do. That little spread ball screen, you got to tag it from the weak side. When you tag it, great recognition, great skip pass, but the extra pass is what makes that play. It's kind of like when you set me up with one of those tricky questions.
Oh, so Gardner's going to get another attempt here for a lane violation. As it stood, he had missed them both. This is a Virginia team, too, that hasn't gotten to the foul line much tonight. And they, on the season, outshoot their opponent by 10 free throw attempts a game. Gardner misses again. Miscommunication there. Pack and Poplar on different wavelengths gives the ball back to Virginia. Cavaliers trailing by 15. Seth, how do they get back into this game?
First and foremost, they're going to get stops. And then I'd like to see them go back to the 2-man game with either Beekman or Kie Clark on the right-hand side of the floor, getting Gardner involved in the game. They've got to get him involved in it. He's the one guy that's been consistent. There he is. And they are
immediately swarmed, yeah. 3 guys collapsing on Gardner. Franklin, wide open 3. Still can't connect. Armand Franklin has now missed all 6 shots he's taken tonight. Norchad Omier battling in the post. Kick out. Here's Wong. Step back 3. Lines it up. Misses it that time.
Good solid defensive possession right there by Virginia.
Clark trying to provide a spark. Virginia's getting good looks. They just can't make them. And Cafaro commits the foul.
Yeah, when Miami's not scrambling, they play a very similar defense. They play a pack line defense. Their length has been a factor in this game. Their ability to take away driving lanes and then get out and contest shots. And there's that foul. Now look, now
Hockey line changes here for Virginia.
Yeah, and McNeely back in the game. I mean, Franklin is just really struggling. You just like to see the kid knock down one shot. Now, Brian Dunn's in the game. This is a game I think he can have an impact. Very similar game, actually, to Jordan Miller. Just a younger version. Very good defender, athletic. Maybe you can get him an easy basket.
2 freshmen on the floor for Tony Bennett, trailing by 15 on the road. A top 25 battle that Miami has dominated thus far. And Virginia gets the stop they've desperately needed. Now can they cash in on the other end? Vander Plas, wide open 3. He'll usually make you pay, did not there.
Yeah, good job of Vander Plas stepping in, getting into the window for that inside-out pass. Just got to make some shots. And look at Miami going right at Vander Plas on the other end with Omier. Really situational basketball, attacking matchups. Jim Larinaga is so good at it.
7 seconds to shoot. Here's Pack. Contested shot. Doesn't fall. Poplar picks the pocket of Beekman. You never see that. Reese Beekman in Virginia all out of sorts. Miami up by 15. When we come back, we'll be joined by the Hurricanes athletic director now. And before we get into present day, you've had the job here in Miami for about a year. I want to go in a time machine.
Sure.
All the way back to the 80s and early 90s. You and Seth Greenberg worked together in Miami and Long Beach State. So okay, let's get the dirty laundry. What do we need to know about Coach Greenberg?
You know, Seth has always been incredibly intense, and my job was to deal with some numbers and facility things, and we would get together and we would yell and scream at one another. But then 5 minutes later, we would get up and go to lunch together. And people up and down the hallway at Long Beach were saying, what are these two crazy East Coast guys doing? But we...
the guy never bought it. It was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Seth scream and yell. I can't picture that at all.
Oh, but it was a lot of fun.
Oh, we had fun, though.
So now you're here in Miami. You've had the job for a year. Is it everything you thought it would be?
Absolutely. I mean, there's certainly, you see this great crowd here tonight supporting this team. We've got great people on our staff, within the university administration, a lot of people who really want to see the Hurricanes do well. And, you know, we're starting to move forward. Not only the great Elite Eight run that Coach L had and his team last year, but certainly starting this year in a really positive note. And on the football side, Coach Cristobal, tomorrow National Signing Day, expecting an incredible class. Those guys are just working so hard and looking forward to bringing the University of Miami football program back to where it needs to be.
Really looking forward to signing day. We had the opportunity to chat with Coach Cristobal today. Going to be a top 5 class tomorrow, which is terrific. We're throwing back to Seth Greenberg having
a little bit
at
of
the,
hair.
At
It's
the
a little
Miami
bit of hair.
days.
Coach Foster, who's a great teacher in terms of rebuilding a program. But Dan, you're here basically to rebuild the identity of Miami athletics. So, like, when you come here, this is a huge undertaking because Miami has a great tradition, a great history. But what do you spend a majority of your time to help change basically the image in a lot of ways to get back to those championship years, especially when you're talking about football?
Well, I think, especially when you talk about football, I mean, right now there are, student athletes have incredible choices because, they have their iPhones. They can go anywhere in the country sitting at home. We have to make sure that they know that when they come to the University of Miami, not only are they going to get a great education, but they're going to have everything in their pocket to be able to have a great athletic career here. So that talks a little bit about facilities and the kind of facilities we need to build to support our football program and our basketball program. I mean, the Watsco Center is 20 years old. We need to make sure that it continues to be in a positive way so student athletes look at the University of Miami and say, you know what, they really care about their athletic program. They care about here at basketball, they care about football, and they care about baseball. So, it's a really important thing. That's what facilities are. That's the first thing people see. And they understand that it's important at the university when you have great facilities.
How do you balance in the new world of college athletics the transfer portal, NIL, and all the other things that are happening around the university and the athletic department, like facilities, like upgrading this building, like building football facilities? How difficult that is to educate your people to make sure that you find the right balance?
Well, I think it's always been that when you get into a circumstance, NIL and collectives and those kind of things are in some ways, just fundraising opportunities. The same thing with facilities, to go out and raise money for facilities. People are going to go where their heart is. You could do a lot of homework, but at the end of the day, someone who's going to give of their talents and treasures, they're going to go in the direction they want. Some really enjoy the NIL world and helping fund that. Others, brick and mortar and facilities are the things that are important to them. So you just have to go out and turn over a lot of stones to be able to find exactly what you need.
Speaking with Miami Athletic Director Dan Radakovich as Kihei Clark steals it away for Virginia. One of the first things you did here, Dan, when you took the job is you gave Coach Jim Larrañaga a contract extension. It immediately paid dividends because he rewards you with an Elite Eight run, but you gave him that extension before the March Madness performance. Why did you do that?
Well, first of all, Jim this past week was nominated for the Naismith Hall of Fame. And, he is just an incredible coach, 700 wins he got a few games ago. He's Miami basketball. I mean, he's been here for 12 years. He is a Hall of Fame coach here at the University of Miami. He's incredibly well respected. We want to keep him here as long as he wants to coach. And I want to make sure of that. I wanted to make sure that he was going to stay here and that he was happy here.
He does an amazing job. It's interesting, his style. Obviously, everyone has their own style, but I think the magic of Jim Larrañaga, quite honestly, is his ability to empower his players. Some people enable their players. Some people empower their players. He does an amazing job of finding a way to connect with these young men and getting them to feel good about themselves. That's got to be valuable within the athletic department.
Oh, it is. He's so positive. I mean, everything about, his day-to-day work is is just being positive. You see it with his young men. You see it when we have coaches meetings or staff meetings that he's a part of. He's just always selling the University of Miami, selling Miami basketball, and it's just great to be around him because he's happy. His wife Liz is just a phenomenal lady, and we're just happy to have them here as part of our program.
4 offensive rebounds on that possession for Virginia. They still can't get it to go.
The length of Miami has had an impact at the rim. Their ability to recover and use their length and challenge shots has been phenomenal.
Well, Dan, we appreciate the time. We're going to get back to
Absolutely.
watching some basketball. What a great crowd as well. Tuesday night conference play.
Crowd's phenomenal. It's great. It's going to be a great jumping off for the rest of the year. So, guys, thank you so much.
Appreciate the time.
Happy holidays, brother.
Happy holidays.
Man.
Be good.
Dan Radakovich, Miami Athletic Director, has been on the job for a year. Already an Elite 8 run under his belt. And Miami trying to close the door on number 6 Virginia. Hurricanes have gone scoreless for the last 5 minutes, and yet Virginia can't capitalize. They've missed their last 5 shots. McNeely, deep 3, and he hits it! Isaac McNeely brings Virginia back within 9.
This is a Virginia team that is starting to get a little bit better ball movement in terms of getting paint touches, kicking it out, getting some stepping threes. Got to the offensive glass a second ago a number of times, but they've got to get stops. And this dude right here, let me tell you, that's like having Mariano Rivera coming out of the bullpen. To bring a guy like Bensley Joseph off the bench, he defends, he can make shots, he knows who he is such a huge asset for this Miami team.
Joseph has taken 3 shots tonight. He's made them all. Ball out of bounds. It'll go to Virginia. Cavaliers trying to cut it, and they've done it with the 3 ball. McNeely, a deep one, the freshman on full display. And then Bensley Joseph answering right back. With you. If you like offense, ugly second half, 5 of 24 shooting between these two teams. Miami actually went scoreless for more than 6 minutes, and yet they still lead by 11.
Yeah, and 9 turnovers between them so far in the first 7 minutes. Right now, watch McNeely coming off a stagger screen right here. Boom.
He gets the look. Doesn't knock it down, though. Poplar bounces over the backboard, and that's a microcosm. Those 2 plays right there, 2 good looks, just can't knock them down.
Good push and good execution in special situations underneath out of bounds. Look at Bensley Joseph defend the basketball.
Miami shooting 3 of 13 in this second half. They've left the door open for Virginia. Can the Cavaliers capitalize? Vander Plas. Counted plus the foul. We might see another 4-point play.
Never fouled a jump shooter. Never fouled a 3-point shooter. We've seen it twice. Vander Plas has not shot well, but is a very good 3-point shooter. Right there, really nice job of dribble penetration. And watch Vander Plas come behind that play. We can see it one more time. You see him relocate and get into a window for McNeely to drop that pass down. That's really good. We call it penetration read. Get a paint touch, defender turns his head, Vander Plas moves to an open area, and all of a sudden they got a game again.
In a second half where points have been at a premium, Vander Plas secures 4 on 1 possession. In the previous 9 minutes, Virginia only had 6 points.
And it's a 7-point game, and that's, again, Virginia, what they're trying to do is just get good, solid possessions, force a contested shot, get a rebound, and just get good looks. Really good job defensively on that ball screen by Vander Plas.
Jordan Miller's been quiet.
Great defensive possession by Virginia, forcing a contested deep 3 into the clock. Virginia much more active defensively in the ball screen action, doing a much better job of defending the ball individually.
McNeely traveled.
John Wooden, be quick but don't hurry. McNeely just a little bit in a hurry right there. Good timeout by Jimmy.
Virginia on a run with Miami In a scoring drought, they've made just one of their last 9 shots, and Virginia's made it a 7-point game.
3, but they've got to find a way to defend the post, keep the ball out of the paint, and get some interior scoring.
So Miami has seen the lead go down to 7. They're in a scoring slump. Virginia's dialed in defensively. How do they break out of it?
Virginia right now, they've got to get stops. The lineup they have in right now, it's going to be Vander Plas ball screens and post-ups for Gardner.
Gardner strips it away. Midway through the second half.
I like Dunn. Ryan Dunn is a really active defender. I'd like to get, if I'm Tony Bennett, I'd probably want to get, there's Vander Plas on a pick and pop.
Big time 3. Ben Vander Plas hits another one.
And in their sides, even though it's a ball screen, on the left-hand side of the floor, you had Vander Plas on a pick and pop. On the right-hand side of the floor, you had a potential post-up for Gardner. That's really good action for Virginia. Casey in the game. Good hands right there by Gardner.
A.J. Casey way off the mark from 3. The freshman nowhere near. Miami once led by as many as 15. Virginia with a chance to make it a 1-possession game.
Omeir's got 3 fouls. I would suspect that Jim Larranaga would bring him in off this next timeout.
Vander Plas, heat check. Oh, he buries it! Ben Vander Plas has made it a 1-point game.
They are doing not a good job, but a great job of lifting Vander Plas in this matchup against Casey. Casey turns his head. They drag the ball, kick it back.
Miami needed that bucket. Nigel Pack delivers.
Nigel Pack's made some big shots this year for Miami. That big 3 he made against Rutgers.
Crowd comes alive. Miami clinging to a 3-point lead. Virginia's made 3 straight.
They went right at that matchup again, right at Casey.
That would have been 3 in a row for Vander Plas alone. Swiped in, but Wong in perfect position to put it up and in.
Good answer. And there's Casey's potential. Not that he got stripped, but he has the ability at 6'9" to put it on the floor.
Gardner calling for it. Beekman, the drive, and we've got a wedgie in South Beach.
I'm not going near that. You're on your own on that one, big fella.
Seth Greenberg at the beach. Miami.
Job of moving without the basketball. There on the baseline drive, he relocates. That will be a 4-point play. Does a great job of moving to open areas. A little ghost screen, slip out, shot ready, behind the ball. You're talking about a guy that was a 35% three-point shooter at Ohio University, doing a really good job of slipping out off those ball screens, ghost screening, creating space, and stepping in and knocking down big threes in the second half.
A season-high 16. 10 of those have come in the second half. And he really alone has shot Virginia right back into this game. Miami led by 15. That lead down to 5. Miller, great pass. The freshman can't finish, but he was fouled. A.J. Casey to the line for 2.
That's the versatility of Miller right there. He catches on the block. They run a double team at him. He's poised. Watch how he gets the ball. He's going to catch the ball on the block. Feels the double team. And a great job of Casey right there. Cutting to the front of the rim. Late sealed down by Virginia. But Jordan Miller's versatility is really impressive. Started the game knocking down the 3. Got to the offensive glass. Can make plays off the bounce. And then if you double him, is poised enough to make the right decision.
Surprised we have not seen Norchad Omier come back into this game. He dominated down low for Miami. Big reason they built that lead. And since he's been out, it's allowed Virginia to come back in this game.
Benzo Joseph is a really good set play, really good job. Double back screen right there for Jaden Gardner. Tony Bennett drawing something up in that timeout. Just a quick back screen to get Gardner to the left block. I'm on Franklin. Let's see if he can get going a little bit down the stretch.
Working on Wong right now. Wong. Franklin got a piece of it. And eventually a foul called. Isaiah Wong heads to the line for 2.
Isaiah Wong, a 79% free throw shooter. Franklin did a really solid job of keeping him in front. Just got to be patient and disciplined. When you get between the ball and the basket, stay down, wall up, force someone to score over the top of you.
Wong knocks them both down. Back to a 5-point game. Miami decided to extend the defense after the free throw made.
This dude can flat guard the basketball. Watch the back screen for Gardner. There it is. Set it.
Franklin wide open from 3. Misses it again. Armaan Franklin is 0 for 7 tonight.
Same play they ran a second ago. Set the back screen for Gardner. They defended that. Franklin comes off a little stagger down screen. And
foul called against Gardner. He does not like the call.
Yeah, that is a tough call right there because I thought Gardner was vertical. There's the slip. It's pretty vertical. I can't see his inside right hand. Let's look down here. Can he come down with his hand? He would have been better off walling off and getting both hands and chesting him out. That's a tough call right there.
Gardner comes out of the game, as does Armaan Franklin.
And that's a hard thing. Here you got an upperclassman who's been good, has started off the season really shooting the ball well, has had big games. You're putting him back in the game, Armaan Franklin, because you just want something good to happen for him.
You got him the perfect look.
And they got a great look for him, and he just couldn't knock it down. So now you're coming back with a little bit of a better shooting team. I do like what Dunn's doing right now, though, defensively. Right now, Miami's switching those ball screens straight up with Vander Plas, so he can't create any separation.
Clark calling for it. Shot clock down to 5. Between the legs. Kihei Clark.
Yeah, hand check outside. Good call. That's a good call. Just by talking to Jim Larinaga before the game, they had a couple of different adjustments they were going to make defensively. Right here, Kihei Clark going at him. Lower body. Casey gets him. But their adjustments were going to be depending on what was happening in the game. Obviously, Vander Plas started shooting well instead of hard hedging. All right, now all of a sudden they're switching all those ball screens with Vander Plas, which keeps the defender on him, which takes away that ghost screen and those wide open threes. Watch with any ball screen with Vander Plas is going to be.
Beekman only 4 points on the night. Gets a big bucket there. Scoop to the hoop for Reese Beekman.
We talked about this matchup at the start of the game. Beekman and Wong. Beekman's ability to keep it in front, keep him out of the lane, keep him from making plays for others. There's a good hard hedge and a short roll, and this is what makes Miller so good. Here's a perfect example. Why do you play ball screen offense? You play ball screen offense to make 2 defend. They make 2 defend. Short roll by Jordan Miller. Jordan Miller catches it in that ACC logo and makes the play. He is a brutal matchup.
Dunn misses it.
I could see them going right back at that type of action. Little horn set with the 2 bigs up top. There's going to be a roll. Here's the second screen.
Long miscommunication there, tried to force it into Miller. That's a turnover. 7-point game as Norchad Omier comes back into the game for Miami. Timeout, Tony Bennett.
Big possession right here. Tony Bennett wants to dictate the shot coming out of this timeout.
Out of timeouts, Virginia has gotten some great...
The NBA or NFL draft.
It really is. And Miami fans are going to be really happy. They're going to have the #1 class in the ACC, top 5 in the nation. Take a look at our game summary. Seth Greenberg, Jay Alter with you. It really has been the Isaiah Wong show. 19.6 rebounds, 5 assists.
Yeah, I think Isaiah Wong's been absolutely terrific. And Jordan Miller, in his own way, has been so effective for this Miami team. If you think about it, you know, Miller, he's got 9 points, but the other things he does, he rebounds the ball, he makes the right play offensively, he keeps balls alive, he's an active defender. The thing about this Miami team is the pieces fit. And they've just been so good overall defensively with their length and their ability to force Virginia into tough contested shots.
In a top 25 battle, Tony Bennett leaning on 2 freshmen down the stretch, Ryan Dunn, Isaac McNeely on the floor. Here's McNeely.
That was a set play, a little re-screen play for McNeely.
Tons of contact, no call. Tony Bennett is livid over on that Virginia sideline. Isaiah Wong back the other way. He's got 21 on the night.
Terrific pass by Bensley Joseph. Good job of Isaiah Wong running the floor. In transition, you've got to capitalize against this Virginia defense. Really good job of him pushing it off the turnover or off the tough contested shot. Miami with the push. Good job of pushing, getting a piece of the lane. And Wong with the soft ability to score. He's got 6 rebounds, 5 assists, a couple turnovers. His decision-making, to me, is what makes him different. He doesn't chase shots. He lets games come to him. He attacks on opportunity. Yeah, it's a great example of a guy that literally has worked on his games, running his own race, listened and heard what people said he needed to work on, and basically embraced that.
Against Virginia, Wong has traditionally struggled, 6.5 points per game in the 4 previous meetings tonight. He has exploded for 21 now. Can he get his team the win? Miami has lost 6 straight against the Cavaliers, and they are clinging to this 7-point lead.
Yeah, we asked Jim Larinaga if he was going to do anything to get Isaiah Wong going, and Jim gave me a great answer. He said, no. He said, I just told him, be you. You play. You know, make the plays that you can make. We're not going to run anything special for you. You know, we play freed up, we play fast, and just go and play basketball. And I thought that was a really good way to say, hey, trust yourself, trust your instinct.
Everything working through Wong. The assist almost rattles in and out for Jordan Miller. Virginia getting key stops. Can they string enough together to climb back down 7 with under 3:30 to play? Clark on the move, draws the foul, and he'll shoot another 2. And this is who you want at the line if you're Virginia. Kihei Clark, battle-tested. He's been above 80% throughout his career at Virginia.
74% this year right now. Last 5 games, he's... Yep. See what you did?
I know. Corey Alexander was beating me up on that against the Virginia JMU game, too. Coming up, ACC PM right before the signing day show tomorrow afternoon in Charlotte for the second night of the Jumpman Invitational. Tar Heels take it on Michigan live from Charlotte. That's 4 p.m. Eastern time, right after National Signing Day show. 2-possession game, 3 minutes to play. And everything is going through Isaiah Wong in crunch time. Acrobatic, doesn't drop, and a foul.
Just a little wedge rebound on the backside right there by Norchad Omier. If you look at the left-hand side of your screen, this was like kind of a broken possession. Watch him get his lower hip into Vander Plas. And yeah, that's a loose ball. That's a 50-50 call in my opinion. I mean, he took his lower body, tried to wedge. and create space. Vander Plas, there was contact, but that could go either way. That could be a no-call very easily.
Rolls in on the front end of a 1-and-1.
He's so strong. His lower body has the ability to carve out space. He's got a 7-foot wingspan, and he pursues the basketball.
8-point game.
I love the man. He's picking the ball up, wearing Kihei Clark down a little bit, getting into him, trying to push this Virginia offense out just a step.
Clark tries to get by Joseph, and a foul called. And they call it against Norchad Omier. That's his 5th foul. So Miami without the big man the rest of the way. Yeah, you can see he got him right on the forearm. Good call. And now Omier done for the night.
That was definitely a foul, and that was a really good set because they set a screen with Vander Plas. It was a ghost screen. He slipped out, which created a big gap for Clark in his right hand to just drive it and get downhill. And Clark's so crafty at showing the ball and creating fouls.
With Norchad Omier out of this game, Miami, they're already a small ball team. They've got to go even smaller.
Well, they're going to go small right now because they're going to play Poplar and play Jordan Miller. Because here's the most important thing. Take care of the basketball. Spread the defense out. Floor gamers, shot makers, and playmakers need to be on the floor. And then as a group, you got to rebound the ball. And their choice was that, Miller, or play a young Casey. So I think going with experience with 2.5 minutes to go, most important thing is don't turn it over and create a matchup problem on the other side.
Clark hits them both back to a 2-possession game.
And look at Virginia. Virginia's basically playing 5 perimeter players. Vander Plas is basically a 3-point shooter. You're not defending post-ups.
The tallest player on the court is 6'8".
And you're playing straight 5 out. The 5 guys outside the 3-point line. Now we'll spread it.
Deep 3, Nigel Pack. How about it?
And there you go. Spread the floor, post up, you scrape down. That's very similar to the 3-point shot that Pack made against Rutgers when Rutgers was making that run. So Pack has taken big shots in his day, but another good decision by Jordan Miller.
Iron unkind for Vander Plas. Nigel Pack's first 3 of the night, the biggest one. And Wong draws the foul on the other end. And this is a shot you can live with if you're Tony Bennett,
you
right?
get a paint touch, watch what happens defensively. You come down and scrape, you're late on the closeout. Good job of Pack sliding to his left to create a little bit of a window. He shot right, he did a great job of showing his hands and stepping into that pass. But there's another example of Miller. Miller, instead, he could have tried to get over his right shoulder and shoot a jump hook. He felt the double and made the right play. Unselfish basketball.
Just like that, Wong gives Miami a double-digit lead again. A lot of breathing room with under 2 minutes to play.
This is a Miami team that beat Baylor in Illinois. This is, a Virginia team that's beat Baylor in Illinois. This is a team that's very capable. Miami has been really, really good in this game. Great job, Benzie Joseph, contesting that shot.
Miami in no hurry. There's 90 seconds left in this game. A 10-point lead. Wong working on the young freshman, Isaac McNeely. Shot clock down to 5. Wong goes to work. Missed it. Cavaliers have to hurry. McNeely fires the 3. Doesn't drop. Kept alive. And one opportunity. Reese Beekman will head to the line with 62 seconds left.
Small lineup, obviously you got to really be aggressive and all 5 guys to come back and rebound the basketball. Fouling the shooter is obviously a mistake. Vander Plas got a little bit away with coming over the back on that shot. So now this small lineup is an advantage because you got the small lineup. Obviously, Virginia's got to extend their defense. Most important thing, get the ball inbounds, good spacing, meet all your passes, run the ball into your hands, catch it, turn, face, look up the floor, be strong with the basketball. Those are all the things that Jim Larranaga is talking to his team about. On the other end, Tony Bennett, they're probably going to try to either face guard with the center fielder or trap the first pass, obviously take away the two outlets, sideline and middle, force something over the top.
Tony Bennett and Virginia still one timeout remaining. Jim Larranaga and Miami have two. In a game where two teams came in red hot, 11-1 Miami, Virginia 8-1. Even despite the loss to Houston, Seth just mentioned good wins against Baylor, Illinois, at Michigan. We didn't know really how it was going to go. Two successful teams, but they do it so differently. Do you feel like Miami just had the tempo in their favor tonight?
It's a home game.
Yeah.
They did a nice job, obviously, of attacking certain matchups. They got good play out of Omier. I thought defensively Miami was absolutely phenomenal. Their length and their ability to not get beat off the dribble, to force contested shots, to limit one shot. And the other thing is, it's real simple. This Virginia team, they had their reading week. They just had finals. This is a hard time of the year for college basketball players because they have reading week, they have finals, they're playing games coming out of that. But a great performance. Great job right there.
Beekman missed it.
Out.
Vander Plas in perfect position. It's a two-possession game.
Here comes the trap. Vander Plas laid up. Yeah.
Full court pressure and a foul comes in, a hard one on Bensley Joseph.
See what happens here. They force him down to the corner. That's not a flagrant foul. That's just a foul. I would be shocked if they go to the monitor on this.
Miami not yet in the double bonus, so this is still 1-1.
Yeah, right there. You're looking to trap that first pass, and there's nothing flagrant about that. He didn't come down. It wasn't excessive. Got a 6-point game.
Critical free throw upcoming for the sophomore Bensley Joseph, who's been outstanding tonight on both ends of the floor. Missed it. Door has crept open for Virginia. Can the Cavaliers capitalize?
They got
Vander Plas, there he is, wide open dunk. It's a 4-point game. You foul here immediately, or you play it out?
They hard foul on him. Oh, my goodness.
Clark has it. Tangled up. Possession arrow stays with Miami. That was a dangerous sequence for the Hurricanes.
Really good job of looking. Great hands right there by Kihei Clark. Good job of... Right now, possession arrow looks to me like it's...
Our scoreboard says Miami.
It is, so it must be Miami. They just didn't flip the board
in the arena.
The scores table.
Four-point game. Kihei Clark had an opportunity to steal that. Would have been an easy layup.
Lay it in with now a shot clock situation. I think you got to look to get one trap, rotate up. Jim Larranaga, what's Jim Larranaga thinking right now? Jim Larranaga's thinking, I have to get the ball into the hands of my free throw shooter. So he wants to get the ball in Nigel Pack. He wants to get the ball into Isaiah Wong.
And it is going to be Virginia basketball.
So the table...
Our bug wrong, table right.
Right now, look for try to get a quick two. First, you got to get it bounced.
That's the final timeout Tony Bennett and Virginia have at their disposal. So Cavaliers out of timeouts, but they do have the basketball, trailing by 4.
This is a hard situation because I'm Tony Bennett now. I would actually think of getting Jaden Gardner in the game. All right, who coming off a back screen can wedge and seal and maybe score and get fouled, or use him as a screener and a slipper, but they've stayed with Ryan Dunn in this smaller lineup. Problem with having Gardner in is if you do score and you have to turn around and pressure, all right, he's not a guy that can run through a passing lane or get to a trap quickly. Jim Larinaga is really talking right now about if we're going to switch. The lineup they have right now, they could be switching 1 through 5. If we're going to switch, make sure we come together, stay tight, all right? Do not foul the jump shooter, but contest the shot. And if they score, Miami have timeouts. Miami's got plenty of timeouts. Number 1, we have timeouts available. Number 2, remember, if they score, we can run the baseline. All right? Make sure you run the ball in your hands. Make sure we know who is inbounding the ball. Make sure our best passer is inbounding the basketball.
All Tony Bennett is worried about is getting a bucket. Everything else is meaningless for the time.
Bucket.
Yep. And 2 freshmen on the floor for this Virginia team, McNeely and Dunn. Those 2 have been a big reason why they've made it this close.
Watch McNeely coming up screening for Joseph, coming off this stagger on the right-hand side. Slip it right there.
Under 30 seconds left. Clark all the way to the rim. It's a 2-point game. Miami with 2 timeouts. And Wong decides to take one.
And Wong didn't run the baseline, and a good job of denying that ball side. Really good execution. If we can get that really good execution, really good patience. They had multiple scoring opportunities right here. Watch right here. Look at right on the top, Vander Plas, because Clark basically drew 2, but they did not want to foul, so Clark goes right in front of the rim. Great job defensively, making it hard to get the ball in bounds. Now it is really, really important. Who's your inbounder? What are you doing? How many people are you going to have in the back? And I was always a big believer, the fewer guys in the backcourt, the better. The more space there is, the more rotations are tougher for the defense if they do get a trap.
You look at these 2 teams, historically, at least the last 6 meetings, Virginia's won them all. But Jim Larinaga and Tony Bennett told us they're always great games, and we've got another great game tonight.
Absolutely terrific. I mean, the game in the second half, both teams have really struggled offensively. Both defenses really did a good job of really making it difficult for the other team to get a good look, get a paint touch, get a second shot. Really interesting to see who is the inbounder. The inbounder is the most important player right now because he's got to read the defense. Defensively, you're playing 5-on-4, so you can, in a lot of ways, dictate who gets the basketball. I would think they're going to run someone deep. They got to open up the floor. Isaiah Wong, once that ball gets inbounded, look for him to make himself a receiver and get the ball back immediately. There's the deep run right there.
The foul comes in against, and it's Jordan Miller to the line shooting 2. Miller on the season, 83%, 25 of 30.
Jordan Miller's made both of his free throws. Excuse me. Jordan Miller's made both of his free throws in this game. There are so many situations right now. Really nice job. Veteran player, experience, poised.
Makes them both.
He's just a really good winning. We talk about winning basketball players. Winning basketball players make the right play and make free throws at the end of the game. There's a hammer play. Ooh.
Beekman right to the rim through contact, no call. Cuts the lead in half. 2-point game. Ball back to Wong, who's fouled. And now Isaiah Wong will shoot 2 with 14.8 seconds left remaining.
And one of the reasons you say, why is Wong in the inbounder? One, obviously, he's a very good passer who can read the defense. The second thing is if they trap, he can make himself available to get the pass back. Right now, depending on what happens, Tony Bennett has 1 or 2 plays, and he probably hasn't run it so far, and he needs a quick 3. Hard to go for a quick 2 right now. This amount of time without a timeout.
Wong makes them both. Virginia without a timeout. 14 seconds to work with. Got to hunt a 3. Clark has to shoot, and he's fouled shooting 3. Isaiah Wong called for the foul, and with 5.6 left, Kihei Clark will shoot 3 free throws.
Great poise right there by Kihei Clark. That was a re-screen for Beekman. He wasn't open. He shot fakes. Now, is that the cylinder rule? Was that a flop? Was he creating the contact? And that is the one they're checking to see. Was it a 3-point shot? Was he behind the line? The second thing he's checking is, was it a flop?
What do you think?
I think it wasn't a flop, but he definitely created the contact. Watch right here. Let's see where his feet are first and foremost.
Tough from that angle.
It's a hard angle. I can't see if it's a 3 or not. It's hard to... The officials just signaled to us, do we have a better look on where his feet are? There is no conclusive look that his foot is on the line. That's for sure. They called it a 3 on the floor. If we can just get the first look we had, maybe we can help a little bit. And if we could freeze it right, he's behind the line here. See, Wong.
That's 3.
It was the right call.
Yep. Kihei Clark 5 of 6 from the free throw line tonight.
Virginia 6 of 23 from the 3, 22 of 60 from the 2, 11 of 16 from the free throw line. Older teams.
Yeah.
Older teams step up, make free throws for Miami with Miller and Wong. Kihei Clark on the other end, making big play after big play, good decision after good decision.
With a little more than a minute left, 62 seconds left in regulation. This was a 10-point game. Virginia has battled back a ferocious finish, and now a 1-point game. Miami has a timeout. Into Pack, who's fouled. Well, the best Miami can do is make it a 3-point game with 4.6 seconds left.
So now, 4.6 seconds left. If you're Miami, I'm always under 5. I would not foul in the backcourt, though. I would pick up the ball the full length of the floor, try to turn the dribbler once, then give a foul. Somewhere like at this side of the U logo.
The left side.
Left side of the U logo, yeah. You don't want to get it into that front court where... And if only one free throw is made, I'm going right at the rim if I'm Virginia. Like right now, Virginia's got plenty of time to get to the front of the rim if Kihei Clark can catch the ball on the run. The key right now is to catch the ball on the run. Don't catch it.
2-point game, Virginia without a timeout.
Here comes Beekman. Watch Beekman catching on the run.
3 seconds left. Beekman lost the handle. Miami survives.
Wow.
The Hurricanes take down number 6 Virginia. It's the first win in 7 meetings for Jim Larrañaga against Tony Bennett.